If we examine the Skywalker saga, there is no doubt in saying that Star Wars The Last Jedi is the very Star Wars film that created a massive divide between the Star Wars community back in December of 2017. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, with the Skywalker saga now finished, a lot of fans have been really wondering exactly, what could have been by J.J. Abrams for The Rise of Skywalker and what Disney could have really done with the sequel trilogy had they actually handled things differently with the sequel trilogy and actually had the plan mapped out many years before they actually began production on The Force Awakens. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we do know that the initial cut of The Rise of Skywalker stood around 4 hours and 20-something minutes long in length. That's a lot of footage that was deleted from the movie and put to the wayside. And now, looking at everything here before The Rise of Skywalker and Solo: A Star Wars Story, if we take a look at The Last Jedi, this was obviously a very complex movie, a very complex situation for Disney and Lucasfilm because of the problems that it really caused with the backlash from fans, with a lot of the, Star Wars fans having issues with the sequel trilogy and how Disney was going to handle that, and how a lot of this had to do with Rian Johnson and his decisions on the character of Luke Skywalker and other plot elements in the movie, and how Kathleen Kennedy was the one who approved all of these different ideas firsthand. So, with that being said, now that Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are moving on to their new Star Wars trilogy of films, and their new Star Wars universe that will bring Star Wars in a different direction for the fans around the world. Now, currently they are going through many changes over at Lucasfilm, and that one of Disney's big regrets was by bringing on writer and director Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi, as his actual involvement created a domino effect with the quality of the Star Wars franchise and the box office results of films that released after his film. That, of course, being Solo and Rise of Skywalker. It's explained that Disney has deep regrets of bringing on a less experienced filmmaker for a major Hollywood film and a major franchise, that Disney's CEO Bob Iger has since made the decision to keep Rian Johnson's new Star Wars trilogy up in the air, which could very well mean that it is now off the roadmap for future Star Wars films. However, it's noted that Disney regrets many of Rian's decisions with The Last Jedi, as it also made the production of The Rise of Skywalker more difficult by coming up with new and proper villains and ideas and ways to end the Skywalker saga properly. Now, it's noted that Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi only caused issues with production for The Rise of Skywalker, and that this is what they view as a big mistake on their part for allowing Rian to come on board for a major Star Wars film that served as the middle of the trilogy, which is said to have been the most important Star Wars film to answer questions midway through, and to provide some clarity of the characters. Now, because of that not happening, Disney had to throw in so many revelations into the film, and even led to them deleting some of them in the process as the movie became way too long. So, everything related to Rian Johnson here, right? Now, I've expressed my feelings about The Last Jedi. If you guys have been following me, you guys will know exactly how I stand with The Last Jedi. It's a movie that I really dislike. A lot of scenes, a lot of concepts thrown in there, just did not agree with me in any way, shape, or form. I just did not like this movie. However, The Rise of Skywalker, alright, I will say it was entertaining. It had a lot of scenes that I loved and hated. That's the best way for me to explain Episode 9 at its best. So, when we look at Rian Johnson, the fact that Disney regrets Rian coming on board for a major Star Wars film, it almost makes you wonder exactly what they were really thinking by bringing on an inexperienced filmmaker like Rian Johnson to Star Wars The Last Jedi at the time. Now, if you guys like The Last Jedi and you like Rian Johnson, that's your own opinion, and that's fine. That's all welcome here below in the comments. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's just a part of being human, and that's just normal. However, one thing is for certain is that there is a large chunk of the Star Wars fan base that completely despises The Last Jedi because of what Rian Johnson did with that movie. There was something about it that felt way too odd and strange to me for a Star Wars film, especially with how the character of Luke Skywalker was used and treated, and how Kathleen Kennedy allowed a lot of this to really happen on the big screen. Now, when you look at what Kathleen Kennedy has done to the Star Wars franchise, and how she has given much praise to Rian Johnson, it almost shows us exactly how blind she really is for the Star Wars franchise, right? Now, thankfully, Disney CEO Bob Iger has been making a lot of moves here in order to clean house over at Lucasfilm, and that now Rian Johnson's trilogy is up in the air. You know, it's neither canceled or actually greenlit, but that they are trying their very best in order to really lay out the roadmap for future Star Wars films and TV shows and exactly how that's all going to go. So, Rian Johnson's trilogy, it really seems like it's a big mystery. Every time he's actually questioned about it, Rian has nothing to say but, oh, we'll see if it happens, or, you know, I'm still waiting on Lucasfilm, you know, what they're talking about, blah, 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 right? So, that's a big indicator that it's most definitely not going to happen, and that Disney knows that the fans will react to these new Star Wars films in a negative way if they are indeed greenlit. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know anything about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.